Welcome people to the World Wide Web. So it is the weekend, so it is movie review time, and what do I have for you today? It is The Equalizer 3. So a little bit of pretense before I go. I didn't rewatch 1 and 2. My memories of it are very vague. I did really like 1. I wasn't the biggest fan of 2. I can remember like somebody being shot with a harpoon. I thought that was quite good in the end too, but that's about it. Saw the trailer for 3, and to be honest, it didn't really build anticipation for me. But we should go into it. As far as I'm aware and what I saw, there were no after credit scenes, so don't have to worry about that. It is the end of the story of the Equalizer. And yeah, so you have it starting off with Denzel Washington's character doing a job. And at the end of it, he unfortunately gets shot and is injured. And as he's trying to kind of get away, he collapses in his car at the side of the road. He is helped by what we find out to be a local policeman who takes him to a doctor who basically nurses him back to life. This is in Sicily, and in the coming weeks, months, as he's getting better, he obviously interacts with the people of Sicily, and he builds bonds with them and friendship, and kind of he is getting quite old. It is kind of almost, as I say, that the end of the trilogy, it's him kind of finding his place to settle down and live life. And you know, off the back of the job he did in the beginning, he contacts somebody at the CIA, which is played by Dakota Fanning, which the only kind of criteria that obviously those two have been together, I think 19 years ago, Man on Fire, which is 2004. Which I bought 2 copies of at the same time on HMV because I buy that many DVDs by mistake. But yeah, this is the first time they've revisited them. She's the FBI, is a CIA agent, and basically he gives her the tip. She turns up and wonders, is he a person of interest and blah, but he's kind of a shadow, and then realises where he is in Sicily, or both of them come to realise that unfortunately there is kind of a gang trade going on. And yeah, and it's kind of, it plods onto the story to basically the main protagonist, Denzel Washington, goes up against the bad guy, and as you know, how we're going to go. And that's it. And to be honest, I actually really liked this movie. I said my expectations were low. I wasn't too thrilled in it, but I actually really enjoyed it. Now, I would say, before I go into spoilers, this movie has a lot of heart. It is I wouldn't compare it to like a John Wick movie. There are a few scenes of where he does some damages, but there are 3. I would say, yeah, mainly 3 scenes where that actually kind of majorly happens. It is more about heart and character development, and him linking to the kind of the people in Sicily and the people he interacts with. And I think that actually gives this much of a heart. So it kind of started off as a really action movie with a bit of heart. I think it got too actiony near the second one. If I remember, I say it just didn't have enough story, and this kind of built heart and built your relationship with the characters and stuff, so you had more of a relationship with them. But yeah, okay, but that's it. Yeah, I did really like it. I would advise you to definitely go watch it, whether you agree with my opinion or not. If you have seen it, please let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree with my appreciation. But otherwise, let's get the spoiler review in, and let's get on with things. Yes, Marty. So, as I've said, as the movie starts off, he's doing a job in kind of a chateau. You have kind of this lord turn up. He takes his men down into the basement, and we've all seen from the trailer, this is where he is. He ends up killing them all and taking a package with him. As he's leaving, there is a young lad in a car that turned up, and he shoots Denzel in the back, and this is where Denzel then almost bleeds out by the side of the road later, and he's recovering. So as he kind of is recovering, he's walking around Sicily, meeting the people, meets the cop who recovered him, and you realise that there is a gang who are basically taking money from people. He's mistreating them not, and the leader of this little gang is the brother of kind of the big criminal mastermind on this, who's doing all the drugs and everything, has the police corrupt and that. And yeah, just the story is of meeting the people are being very mistreated, and it's just how Denzel Washington gets better and like builds a relationship, and then as he's better, he kind of decides to take vengeance into his own hands. Which I say, it just builds on that heart and builds warm. And I know it's probably a different movie than the other ones, but I think if you go back to the original one, that is what his character is. But he is a much older character, so they've actually kind of developed the story based on how he is a person, you know, because I know we're all like, John Wick is in his 50s, he kicks it, but realistically, John Wick 4, like, no one of his age would kill the amount of people he want and get through that, and and exactly this makes him realistic. Like, he lets the kid go in the beginning and the kid shoots him, you know, it's a mistake, and he realises it's a mistake, and there's little bits like that that make it more human and ground it, and I think can relate to it. And so it's nice to see the people and how, like, he becomes part of the community, because they say, you know, he asks the question, are you a good man? He doesn't know, and he says that, you know, a good man would say he doesn't know, you know, because a bad man would know he's bad, which I think that is quite a good summary of that question, and just a summary of the character he is. I say it's very good. The fight scenes are really good. It is some proper gory ones of guns being pushed into people's faces, and I don't know, just if we're going to end the series, I think this was a very nice way to end the series as a whole. He gets a happy ending, he does some criminals, and obviously we have Dakota Fanning that comes in and she gets blown up and she's trying to uncover it, and you're like, she's always like, why are you helping me? And then at the end you realise that her mum was actually a friend of Denzel Washington's, I believe, from the first movie. So it was nice to have that link there, and kind of for him to be, you know, like, settle all his debts and make sure, you know, he has left something for his friend's daughter, because I assume that's what she would probably want him to make sure she's looked after and at least helped her on a career. So yeah, so it was, I say, it was good. It was a good enough a combination of everything that goes into it. So I'm going to rate this movie a very 6.7 out of 10. I know it's a bit weird. I'm just getting fed up of doing 6.5s and 7s and stuff. So we're going to go 6. As I say, because it's a franchise movie and you have to know more, and I don't remember too much more, I'm not going to rate it higher. Maybe on a second watch, when I watch all 3 of them, it would be a nice 1 and 3 would work really well, and you probably get rid of 2, but it is what it is. But yeah, I really liked it, really well acted across. It was nice to see. At first, Dakota Fanning, I weren't too sold on her, but I did warm to her a bit as time goes, and when you learn, like, she is just out from a desk job and this is kind of a little bit of a promotion for her, and it does fit in, like, the criminals, you know, they want to get Denzel when they, like, oh, you know, the people stop him because they're being recorded, and then you know, that evening he goes and just takes them all out. It was really, really good, you know. For me, I always find it funny when people go in and kill all the henchmen, and there's the bad guy left, and he's like, I've got a gun, I'm gonna get him. It's like, if he's killed like 20 men, you have no chance of it, you know. It's like if there was a big army fighting and they've sent 100,000 people in and they've all died. If I was like 100,001, I wouldn't be like, well, they've all died, what am I gonna do? You know, I'm no superhero or like wicked. But that's what it is. But yeah, it was a thorough enjoyment. I actually enjoyed it. It's a far better enjoyment than what it did. It was a nice end to the franchise in my eyes. I must admit, when I come out, there was a few younger lads who did not. I heard their reviews and they were like, I didn't like it. It's rubbish. It's nothing like one. It hasn't got any of the action stuff. And yes, it isn't like one. It is a evolution of his character as he has got older, and kind of to finalise, I think, doing what they did in John Wick. Spoiler review if you haven't seen 4. Turn off now. Is obviously he kills everybody and he dies, but we know he's coming back, and I don't know who else is left to kill. And for him, you know, this was such a smaller scale that he's done this area, and that, you know, that's his story told, and he retires and he has a nice place in Sicily. Maybe that lady friends, obviously he has, and can just live out his years in a nice end to a story for a change. I've been Cypher Sigma. Hope you've enjoyed this movie review of The Equalizer 3. If you disagree, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one.